In this video, I would like to show you how to work shoulder increases in every row to create a shoulder line like this one when you work the 2x2 rib as your main knit pattern. Okay. To begin with, you need to identify your shoulder stitches. So in this case, I have 6 stitches that I would like to use as the shoulder stitches. So I isolated them with the shoulder stitch markers. When you start the increases, you need to pay attention to the series of stitches before the shoulder markers to ensure the symmetry, the pattern symmetry. So when I isolated my shoulder stitches with the markers, I had here purl stitches before the shoulder markers. So I started by increasing the knit stitches right here, as all new stitches need to be incorporated into the pattern right away as you add them. So before the first stitch marker, I need to create a right leaning increase. So I've already done 2 sets of 1 knit stitches and the purl stitches, so I'm going to demonstrate how to create a right leaning increase with the with the knit stitches. So to do that, you need to keep your working yarn behind your work and insert the left needle from the back and pick up the yarn between the stitches from row below. Then you need to twist this yarn to the right by knitting it into the front loop. So I'm going to lift it up and knit it as a knit stitch. Just like that. And I continue to knit my shoulder stitches. Now I slip my second stitch marker, and here I need to create a left leaning increase. So for that, I need to keep my working yarn behind and lift the yarn from the back. You can lift it like from the front, like that, with the left needle, and knit it into the back loop. That's your left leaning increase. And here I just simply continue with my pattern. I'm back to my first marker, and here's the stitch that I increased in the previous row. I'm going to knit it as a knit stitch, so I'm just going to do it just like a regular knit stitch to make sure that it's not twisted. And here I need to repeat the same steps as I did for the when I was increasing this stitch. So I'm going to keep the yarn behind, lift up the yarn between the stitches, and knit it into the front like that. And that is going to create a right leaning increase. And I knit my shoulder stitches. I slip this marker, and now I need to repeat the same steps, so I can do it this way and knit it through the back and continue to knit, following the 2x2 rib pattern until I'm back here. So I've increased 2 knit stitches. The next set of stitches is 2 purl stitches. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to keep the working yarn in front, insert the left needle from the back and lift this yarn here. And now I'm going to knit this lifted yarn just like that as a purl stitch through the front. Okay, and now I slip the marker, continue with my shoulder stitches, and to create a left linen increase as a purl stitch, I need to keep the yarn in front, lift the yarn between the stitches from row below through the front and knit it through the back. Here's the back loop. I'm just going to hold it a little bit with my finger so I can see it, and just knit it as a purl stitch. And this one was my knit stitch. I'm going to just knit it as a knit stitch to making sure that it's not twisted, the loop is not twisted. And I'm going to continue the process until I'm back to this marker. Okay, so I'm back to my marker, and here is my purl stitch, and I'm going to just open it up a little bit to see, to make sure that when I'm going to purl it, it's not going to get twisted. So I'm going to purl it through the front, through the back, sorry, like that, grab it and purl it through the back. Now I'm going to add another purl stitch, and to do that I'm going to enter the left needle between the stitches from previous row, like that, and keep the working yarn in front and knit it into the front leg, like that. Purl it into the front leg. Okay, so that's a purl stitch. Let's do it again. Yarn in front, lift the yarn between the stitches through the back, keep the yarn in front, and purl it through the front leg, through the front. And move on to the other side. With this stitch, this purl stitch is a little bit trickier, but it's still, we can do it. So I need to keep the yarn in front, insert the left needle through the front, and knit this lifted yarn through the back. So I'm going to just make a little bit more space so I can see this loop. Put the yarn back in front and knit it and purl it like that. And now I'm going to purl the stitch that I created from the in the row below, and continue with the pattern. So when I get back here, the next set of stitches will be knit stitches, and I'm going to continue like that until I reach the desired length for my shoulder. See, I did quite a bit here. And then once you're ready to separate the back and the front, you can just switch these two central purl stitches around, so when you continue working your top or vest or sweater, this is not going to allow for the shoulders, stitches to stretch. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.